Rajinder Uppal, Fruitvale Daily Log. Also auto preamble on for the Justice Department files. Here's discovery of trash. Essentially, there's Wells Fargo Bank here in Alameda, California, right next to Chase Bank, next to Safeway on the other side. So that direction right there is from where the trash comes. It's cut across the street down there. See those bags? Boom, 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 all the way around here. Sometimes it's littered over here, sometimes it's not. So the bags contain various amounts of trash, but the trash is not combinedly one bank. Sometimes it's two banks combined. But I followed the exit pattern of the trash, and I discovered that yes, certain bags come from Chase, certain ones come from Wells Fargo. The ones that come from Chase so far have had no problems with PII. Once in a blue moon, you'll have like a deposit slip drawn, but I have to be a customer. There were like internal documents, etc. Right? So, but with Wells Fargo specifically, I found numerous documents which I can attest to that from my experience. I have 25 years of experience in the field of IT, and I have lots of experience with corporate governance because I have to get PCI certification for the whole field, etc. And also SOX, etc. I have about 10 plus years as a PMP with Lucent Worldwide Services, Netflix, companies like that. So I'm a subject matter expert in many fields. So now, look at the items I've collected thus far before going to that side today. This is collected, again, over a course of approximately, I'd say, yeah, this is collected approximately 7 days to 10 days worth of collections. And again, it's for that bank right there, plus another bank, aggregate Wells Fargo banks. And why is this important? Because I'll explain it to you in a moment. But here is my explanation essentially. I have an affidavit written down. Here's a rough draft, right? So basically, any business that disposes of customer names, address, etc., without following the law called Sarbanes-Oxley is illegal. See the details later on. When a bank or an employee puts in trash, customer info, which is unsecured, is not legal. Shredded is legal. Incineration is legal. Or a third party is legal too. It does not matter which employee did it. It only matters that they are parts of a business and are needing training. Each violation equals grounds for losing a Sarbanes-Oxley certification on the spot. So when you lose Sarbanes-Oxley, you automatically lose all these other certifications because all these other certifications require you to have passed Sarbanes-Oxley before you can get to them. It's like having a driver's license or a high school diploma. You can't get a master's degree without getting a high school diploma. So PCI needs to be checked, else PCI, if it equals no, then PCI 2.0 fails. Basically, PCI depends on this. SOX, PCI 2.0 depends on this. It's all dependencies. So a large bank will need to have its operation shut down, and Congress or Senate will launch an investigation due to the economic impact. How a small thing can ripple tidal waves for $1 million a day fine for PCI 2.0 and up to $10 million a day fine for SOX compliance for the entire bank across the United States. That is what the Justice Department was notified by me because Wells Fargo was not willing to accept the problem and to correct the problem. So again, here's a second beta version, and that was for public release version. Same thing, but banks like Wells Fargo are putting your personal information like social security numbers, direct deposit account numbers, addresses, etc. in plain trash without shredding it. I found over 2 weeks of imploring the bank by returning the paper, by calling the bank and informing of SOX, etc., I went to the ATM and left stuff found as I'd found it, and nobody told me the formal method to communicate with them. Also, to corporate, but I kept my promise and incinerated all the evidence that I found as per their instructions, but I kept finding more and more and more. What do you think you should do if you're a customer of Wells Fargo and they, out of retaliation, froze my assets and did not adhere to the Funds Availability Act, especially of COVID 19? COVID 19 states that the banks need to have your funds available sooner than later, same day availability for customers. And mines are not available for weeks at a time now. And also, on top of that, they cannot close your account down if for COVID 19. They cannot close your account down, and even if it runs negative. And when you run negative, it doesn't matter. It'll still authorize food, basic food and basic necessities, and up to $500 a day in cash withdrawals. Because the federal government reimburses, that's right, the federal government reimburses the banks directly for each and every penny. So that the banks have to adhere to that. But Wells Fargo is not doing that. Banks like PNC are absolutely cooperating on that method. So now, here are the things from these guys. Let me remove my personal papers from the top. All right. So starting here, this is a small stack left of one of 754 documents that I have documented already. So for instance, again, this paper contains the name of a customer, the name of the bank, the name of the bankers, whatever. But the point is, it contains a customer name, and it's in the trash. I can guarantee you I visually saw that this black and white paper came from the trash from Wells Fargo. Now, whether it was a customer or whether it was an employee that threw it out is very easily discernible, because a lot of these documents will say, if you look through here, some of the documents will say customer copy on them, and the ones that say customer copy on them are easily addressable to the customers. But these don't say customer copy down here. So somebody at the bank, or somebody with access to the bank, or somebody with access to the bank files, somehow, either way, it's the bank's responsibility to not throw these out into the trash, but to actually put them in. They need to improve their process and fix their process with their bankers. Violation number 1, technically, so of Sarbanes-Oxley, which states